I think it's safe to say that the American people no longer trust their own government, especially when it comes to three-letter agencies and tragedies that tend to happen throughout the country. We have seen time and time again, whether it be something that happens in Vegas or in Nashville or wherever the case may be, some tragic event where multiple people will lose their lives, and we get some type of generic answer, or we get nothing at all, and we just kind of never get to the bottom of why something specifically happens. But every now and then, when some type of tragic event takes place, we will know information almost immediately, quicker than we're actually probably supposed to know. And this situation that happened in New Orleans is seeming to be one of those types of situations. We have found a considerable amount of information regarding the attacker and pretty much their motive behind the attack. We have had so much information that it's actually bringing a lot of questions to light. And this article right here highlights exactly what we're talking about. It says here, FBI leaving evidence behind at New Orleans attacker's home raises questions. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, over here on X, this Jennifer Taylor, who works for the New York Post, was able to provide an exclusive tour of the attacker's home. Now, I don't know about you, but isn't that kind of strange? You would think a lot of this stuff is under wraps, that this is basically a crime scene. We're what, maybe 72 hours into these events unfolding, and we're already being given a walkthrough tour of where this person supposedly lived? I don't know about you, but that seems a little bit crazy to me. So you can see right here, it says they found a station where they were able to make these devices, and a Quran open to a chilling passage about martyrdom. Isn't that very convenient? Isn't that technically evidence that shouldn't be touched? And you're just letting a reporter walk through? Like, a lot of this stuff is just not adding up. So I'm going to play a little bit of this here just so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about.
You can see that it's been clearly destroyed, the door at least, from the FBI raid yesterday, but if we walk through the home, we see some signs of what he was up to.
So I'm going to pause this really quick. And if you look right where she first walks in, we see a laptop sitting here. There's books that are sitting here. You would think a lot of this stuff, first off, wouldn't be accessible to just some random reporter. I mean, look at this. There's card information here, keys laying out, all kinds of stuff.
Department of Justice documents here, the search warrant, and the property that they recorded here, which seems to be a lot of chemicals.
Why would they provide this type of documentation to a reporter? So quickly, mind you. Like, none of this makes any sense whatsoever. You have to be a complete and total moron to just see this and go, okay, well, that adds up and makes sense.
Open Quran with a passage there, as well as...
Isn't that very convenient that they happen to stumble upon this Quran specifically open to this passage? I'm not saying that this is impossible and that this didn't actually happen. I'm just saying, isn't that insane how much access this reporter has? Like I said, there have been multiple other events that have occurred, and we know nothing, or we're still waiting on further details as to what happened, and they're just never provided. But now we have a reporter that just has all of this crazy access to literal evidence of the scene. I just don't buy it, to be 100% honest with you. There are a lot of comments that are just ripping this apart because there tends to be some other people who have some common sense in the world. And this comment right here pretty much takes the cake, and it says the FBI literally seized a U.S. Capitol Lego set from a J6 defendant, but they left the Quran open to a passage about martyrdom next to a blank station sitting in a attacker's apartment. Yeah, okay. I mean, that is spot on. I mean, it's exactly what we're talking about. And there are a ton of other people making these types of comments. So you just showed the list of chemicals that the New Orleans person used? Probably not the smartest idea. Like, none of this makes any sense whatsoever. Again, I'm trying really not to have a tinfoil hat on when it comes to a lot of this stuff, But none of this stuff makes sense at all. So jumping back to this article, in the 2-minute and 13-second video, the reporter walks around Jabbar's home after it had been raided by police, pointing out his possessions, including the chemicals that were used at the workstations and certain religious texts. Listen, not trying to wear a tinfoil hat, but I do have a working, functional brain in my head, and some of this stuff just doesn't add up. And like they always say, trust your gut. When have we ever had somebody have this much access to a crime scene and things just like this, very important amounts of evidence just lying around? Like, I don't know about you, but this doesn't make sense and doesn't add up. And still a horrible event that's taken place. People have lost their lives. It's very tragic. But it's just insane to me that the FBI, who we know has done a lot of terrible things, especially over the last 4 years, was just open to leaving it to some reporter in yoga pants. Like, I don't know about you, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I definitely want to know what your thoughts are on this down below. So please let me know what you think down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.